Well, we went through the entire range of emotions with that damn wall. The fear that the reboot was actually a retcon sequel to Saints Row 3 was looming over us when a blacklight got involved to reveal that someone had tagged Jeff Keighley's name in semen. I couldn't be more proud to say that the Europeans are beginning to figure it out. But thankfully most of that wall business was just marketing fluff and amounted to nothing. It's now time for the main course.
What? Oh. Huh? Stop! No, please make it stop. Make it stop! Oh no. Oh no. No.
It's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. I've been there, my friend. You're not alone. This is not the Saints Row you know. This is not the Saints Row I know. This is not the Saints Row anyone knows because it's a CG trailer for a fucking reboot. But seriously though, I don't think I was comprehending this was Saints Row until halfway through watching this thing, and it was only because things kept getting worse. As soon as I saw that bulky space rifle, I knew we were ready for takeoff. And sure enough, that humble opening scene where a man gets executed during a gun trade turns into an over-the-top car chase that ends up on a rooftop, which leads to a standoff with yet another advanced military-grade projectile weapon and, well, we're keeping it strange all right. But then again, I don't know what else I was expecting. Some Andy from Toy Story looking ass telling me his life story, or maybe just a straight-up shot of the whole crew gearing up for a turf war. Yeah, maybe that was it. But hey, what about these new characters? They look like insufferable stereotypes out of a CW teen drama.
Get the fuck away from my friends.
They look pretty gay, but I don't know. Look at the old Saints. They're all a bit rough around the edges. They're a street gang after all. Sports jerseys, do-rags, bling. Maybe this is what we were expecting. The downtrodden side of society where peak fashion is FUBU, denim, and Timbs. But this new crew looks like they were pulled out of a high school drama club. This is what I think people mean when they say the game is woke or somehow related to social justice. Surely people aren't saying that because of the diversity of the cast. The cast of Saints Row has always been diverse, so that argument is fucking stupid. I really don't see anything woke or social justice about this. Just that, instead of a bar or a strip club, the Saints look like they have their meetings at the local barista. Oof, did I just call them the Saints? That felt pretty weird. But nevertheless, this group of eccentric teenagers have single-handedly ruined a lot of people's expectations for the gang side of Saints Row. And that's completely understandable. I'm not going to say soy boy, I'm not going to say woke, I'm not going to say SJW, and I'm absolutely not going to say but the design of these characters have provoked an immediate negative reaction because I don't think anyone was expecting the new Saints looking like that. I do think it's a bit unfair to critique them before we get to know them, but based on what little we do know of them, and their sense of fashion, it doesn't immediately jump out at you that this is a street gang. And if you told me this was a screenshot of the next Watch Dogs game, I'd believe you. Yoga pants, capri pants, shirtless man with food-themed sleeve tattoo? Ugh. By the end of the last series, I really didn't give a shit about the 3rd Street Saints anymore, so I'm not really upset that they're gone. But I do know these new characters have some big shoes to fill, and so far, they don't even appear to be in the same league. Apparently they're supposed to be relatable. But to who? Millennials with college debt? I mean, I guess if Reddit was their target demographic, sure, but why stop there? Make a game for all the people who have computer science degrees but are currently unemployed. Make a game for all the failed influencers out there. Make a game for the sex workers who have to support themselves using online services. Sounds pretty damn stupid, but hashtag relatable. Now there were some scenes, some clips of the CG trailer that when isolated, feel like Saints Row 2 on crack or Saints Row 3 toned down, which is more or less that Saints Row 2.5 theme I'm settling for. But as a whole, I didn't get the impression this was Saints Row at all. First impressions are everything, and this pissed a lot of people off, especially when they followed it up with a seizure-inducing gameplay sizzle reel where you can't tell what the fuck you're even looking at. Ooh, what a tease. That turned a lot of our attention back to that CG trailer, which tells us even less except that the default boss is a black woman with a pixie cut? Yeah, whatever, you guys had your fun hating on that. CG trailers are never the best representation of what a game is going to really be like anyway. but take it or leave it, this is what they went with.
Get the fuck away from my friends.
By day 2, we got an actual look at the game, and I gotta say, I like what I see. The map is gorgeous. I really love the desert theme, though I do have to say it started to feel a bit monotonous in some of these shots. After all, it's the fucking desert. But then boom, an absolutely gorgeous city shot. And of course all the art sprinkled around. It works really, really well with the map theme while also giving it variety. I've only seen a few shots in B-roll, not with too much action, but I think they absolutely nailed it. It looks spectacular and really fun. Gameplay-wise, this already looks strikingly similar to Saints Row 3. Instead of that loose and fluid Saints Row 1 movement, every shot I see of someone firing a gun is doing it in a stiff, tactical way. A little too cramped for my liking, and it sadly looks like that clunky swarming spawn of enemies aspect of Saints Row 3 is returning as well. But still, even though it does have that Saints Row 3 feel to it, it looks way fucking better. It all seems responsive, combat looks nice and engaging, and it doesn't feel like you're on the verge of having a seizure because lasers are flashing in your face, oh my god! I know over-the-top weapons are a Saints Row standard now, but I'd like to see more love for your typical, boring, plain-ass guns. It helps make the wackier guns that much more special when you finally get to encounter them, and really, I just don't like to see laser weapons as the dominant, front-and-center face of the Saints Row arsenal. Remember, keep things a little grounded so that there's more room to build off of. But on that note, there was a shot where the Saints are robbing what appears to be a Western Union, like a really, really petty heist. I loved that shot. The characters themselves looked super out of place, being beer connoisseur looking hipsters and all, but a grounded scenario like them robbing a shitty little check cashing facility would be a really good start for this new team in terms of starting from nothing and growing an empire. That part was more grounded and what I hope to see more of early on in the campaign before all the wheels come off the bus and we end up in a Bollywood film. And who knows, if they took this bubblegum group of characters and the campaign turned out to be like a group of nerds get in over their heads, joining the thug life, and we get to see what happens when keeping it real goes wrong, like really twisted into a dark crime story, that'd be kind of kino. I don't have any faith in that happening, but it would be nice. All we know about the boss so far is that they're a, quote, charismatic murder machine.
Get the fuck away from my friends.
I guess if paying off your student loans really is the premise of the story, then it leaves a lot more to be desired. As for the antagonist, the idols look like the Deckers on meth, the cowboy guy looks pretty cool, and Los Panteros are like a cross between the Carnalis and the Brotherhood. I don't know, I guess I could go on, but fuck it, why? Why should I? They fumbled pretty hard on how they've been giving us information on the game, so I don't really feel like talking about it too much this early. A lot of what I'd say would be based on that stupid fucking exclusive influencer footage. The private footage I got to witness really helped me feel more positive about the game after the initial shock of the CG trailer. I guess I'm not going to spoil what was in it, but it looked really nice, unlike this extremely watered-down featurette they chose to release to the public. Ah, fuck it, I'll spoil a little. The map looks even better than what we've seen. There were boats, a sailboat, stunt jumps look better than they ever have, the wingsuit feature looks like a promising upgrade to skydiving, crushing cars with tanks and monster trucks looks as spectacular as ever. I think I saw at least one open world interior. There's going to be wildlife that occupies the barren land between districts, but that desert isn't just wasted space. There's a lot of secrets to be discovered out there as well. The way you could customize the city looked really nice, though I have some concerns they'll reuse a lot of geometry and assets with that, but it's integrated with activities in a really refreshing way. Explosions look good, the graphics look amazing, the cars look really nice. I've seen people comment that it looks like AOM's movement, but it's really not. I'd say it's more like a tweaked out version of Saints Row 3. Like you can upgrade how far you'll be able to dash, but it's nothing like the superpowers you're thinking of. All in all, it left me with a positive impression of the gameplay, so my heart kind of sunk when I saw this. It almost feels like they're sabotaging their own game. Ah, fuck it. In case you're wondering, the Saints are still purple, but they slowly changed their colors to it over the course of the campaign. They're still trying to figure out their identity after all. The Saints aren't spontaneously a thing. So it's pretty fitting, to be honest. It's just going to take some time to get used to these new faces. But I've heard you guys loud and clear. People are somehow more upset with this game than they were with Saints Row 4. Which is insane to me, but it is what it is, I guess. Now with all that said, let's recap what we know so far with a list of the sad sads and the good goods. The most obvious sad sad is that the main characters don't look like gangsters. They look like bully victims. By extension, the campaign premise doesn't seem very promising. 2-player only co-op is another sad. I want to play Saints Row with all my friends. I can understand just keeping the campaign restricted to 2 players, but this is a nice open world that I wish more players could explore together. And of course, the biggest sad is that the fucking thing is an Epic Store exclusive. I sure hope that extra money you guys got didn't go to marketing. But as for the good goods, tonally the game is much more grounded, somewhere between Saints Row 2 and Saints Row 3. The map is the antithesis of Steelport. The gameplay looks like a vastly improved version of Saints Row 3, customization is slated to be the best we've seen yet, and the vehicles and aircraft sound amazing. And well, until there's more information, I guess that's all I got to say. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Has the small amount of gameplay you've seen rebooted your enthusiasm, or is all hope lost? Until the next marketing blunder, this has been your boy Flippy, signing out.